Suppose the most profound truth about your existence is this: you are not actually born, and you will never die. The old texts tell us we constantly mislabel ourselves. We draw tight circles around our identity, pointing to our physical bodies, the wandering thoughts in our heads, and the fragile collections of memories we carry around. Setting these strict boundaries creates a trap. We spend our lives confined within them, chasing temporary pleasures and running away from pain. If that physical shell is the entirety of who you are, the eventual decay of the body becomes an ultimate terror. The fear of death becomes the absolute driving force in human life. But the Vedas offer a different view. They propose that death is not the real tragedy. The real tragedy is walking through life with total amnesia regarding our own true nature. Human suffering, the anxiety, and the intense fear of mortality are not permanent conditions of the universe. They are simply the symptoms of a profound case of mistaken identity. To correct that mistaken identity, we can look to the Bhagavad Gita. Its core lessons were delivered in the midst of a literal battlefield. In verse 2.20, Krishna delivers a precise piece of wisdom to a paralyzed warrior. The soul is never killed, even in the complete destruction of the physical body. Realizing that the core of your being is entirely out of the reach of death acted as an impenetrable armor of immortality for these ancient fighters. The Vedas take this concept of the individual soul and scale it up to the entire cosmos. They introduce the concept of Brahman, an all-powerful, immortal force. The Upanishads distill this into a simple three-word statement: Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art. Tat Tvam Asi describes a mechanical reality. It asserts that the exact power that gives light to the sun, drives the wind, and forms worlds is not external. It is located entirely within you. The boundary between the observer and the observed vanishes. Every individual holds the same boundless architectural force that maintains the stars. If we hold the power of a world maker, it raises an obvious question: why do we walk around feeling so weak, powerless, and afraid? For centuries, humans have relied on physical rituals for the dead, like offering effigies made of flour. These practices act as earthly reminders, prompting the departed to look past the boundaries of the physical body. But the eternal soul inherently possesses eternity. It does not actually need our earthly offerings to survive. The weakness lies entirely in our own minds. Breaking out of that deep psychological amnesia requires an external catalyst. That is the necessary function of a guru. A true guru is not a standard teacher handing down borrowed facts from old books. Their job is to forcefully pry open the eyes of the disciple. A true guru plants a single destabilizing realization: you are Brahman. When this identity takes root, the limited self that accumulated past mistakes and debts simply evaporates. Without that false ego to attach to, previous karma burns away, and the logic of destiny is transformed. Realizing immortality is not the result of mechanical routines. It is a psychological overhaul that shatters the mind's reliance on physical boundaries. Awakening to this reality redefines your scale. The isolated drop of water that once feared the storm recognizes its identity as the entire ocean. There is a common misconception that finding this freedom means you have to abandon your normal life and escape into the mountains. The true message of these ancient texts is exactly the opposite. They provide a framework to step back into the physical world and exist within it with absolute conscious intention. Liberation in practice means operating your physical body and doing your daily work, while knowing firmly that your presence is the light illuminating your surroundings. We have to stop viewing ourselves as passive clay, constantly waiting to be molded by the tragedies of life. To know the eternal soul is to realize you are the immortal fire meant to mold the world.